Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here. Right, I've done another video on this before with the unboxing and showing all the goodie games and stuff like that I got with the Nintendo 64. I'm going to strip this down and I'm going to give it a good clean. I'm going to do a separate video on whether or not any of these, the battery, there's some of these have batteries in them and some of them don't, and I just don't know. So I'm going to strip them all down, give them a good clean, but we'll go good testing. Once this has been cleaned and restored, we can test all these and restore all of these as well. They might not need anything at all, but that'll be a separate video. Same as the controller, I want to do a little bit of an upgrade on that. The thumbstick, it all works. It's just the thumbstick is a little bit iffy and there's a better alternative out there. So I'm going to do that on a separate video as well as. Right, this, I'm going to strip this down and I'm going to give it a clean. There's a lot of fluff in here. I don't think there's a fan on this. But, like I said before, this is my first Nintendo 64, so it's all new to me. The battery pack, the power supply on the back was completely new. That's the same connector. So, then the rest of the SNES range, which is good. That's the same as the Nintendo Wii as well, which is quite weird. But yeah, we're going to strip this down. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of they look like Allen key type. So you need the anti-Allen key sort of socket, which I've got, this is fine, to get into here, and we'll see and have a look what's in. So while I'm starting, let's open that flap up, get rid of the memory expansion. There are a few questions I asked on the end of the last Nintendo video, which was the gun, where was that one from, and it turns out it's a PS2 gun, which is great. And this is actually for, which is strange, Nintendo makes something but wouldn't put a big enough flap to get your finger in to pull it out, so they give you this. And it looks like somebody has been using this corner to prise out that, but not worked. But you need to use this corner here because that little nodule there goes into there and it pulls out the memory expansion or the jumper pack. Now I don't know if there's any difference between all these different ones, whether or not this is just a little bit of a memory card, memory upgrade, jumper. I have no idea, but we're going to get along with this. I'm going to figure out what all these are. I'm going to get into this, unscrew the 6 screws, and we'll see what makes the N64 tick. Now we flip this onto its back. It's almost like a turtle when it's on its back, because it can't right itself because of the way that the front section's been made. No idea why it's been made like that, whether it's been made to add on the memory upgrade, I don't know. I'm still iffy about this reset button. It just feels like you are pressing something, but there's no click at all. Just seems a little bit iffy. Right, what I'd recommend is get yourself one of these keys and just loosen each one of the screws to start with. It's getting older plastics, which is the problem, because they will eventually degrade and break on us. So best relieve the tension on the screw to start with, so it's not going to break anything. Same as when you're putting them back in again. Put them in. You can use an electric screwdriver, it doesn't matter. It's that bit to start with that you're just taking it from being taught from the fact, because this will be from the factory, taught from the factory that you need to just uncrack it. If you do too much, and I have done this on some SNESes, it'll just rip open the plastic from the chassis, and you don't really want that. That's stuck in there. Right, let me get the rest of these out, and we'll see what it looks like inside. Everything that can come off here has done, including the door on the bottom for the expansion port. I think, isn't there an expansion port on this that you put on to play a Game Boy? So all 6 of those out. Looks like you put that on there, then you screw it into place anyway. I don't have one of those. I think there's one on cash converters at the minute, and I'm not too sure about it. Okay, the feet come off as well. Is that hiding anything? They're just 4 holes for this. There's more for in there then. Right, let's turn around and see if... Looks like we're fine. So it's not too bad. A little bit of a dusting on this, on the top section. It's come straight out. That could do with a bit of a clean, because it's rubbing a little bit. The switches, yeah, just needs to come off from, looks like they're pushed in there. Again, be careful. Nip in either side and push through. Yeah, there's a bit of brushing on the side there. Well, this looks like it's a Nintendo regular thing for the N64, because the controller itself, the center controller, the thumbstick, it wears itself out, so it basically just destroys itself. So you must be careful with it. But the upgrade that I'll be getting is, it's a thumbstick which fits exactly where it comes from, but it's actually a exact same as from the GameCube, which makes it a lot easier. It's more thumbstick as you would normally have nowadays, like on a ball with a stick, instead of it being a lot more longer and would destroy itself. I'm going to get one of those eventually anyway. So it's not too similar with the reset button, but it does want cleaning inside there anyway. Other than this, it's a very small board on our Switch. See, this is what I'm on about with the reset button. That does press in quite a lot, and that doesn't seem to go in quite a lot. So possibly that might not be working right with the reset. May need cleaning, may need a little bit of fettling, I don't know. As for the rest, I'm not quite sure. I'll have to take this out. 1, 2, possibly 2, 3, 4. We'll have a look. I'm guessing those two as well, and these will hold on this heatsink onto the chip. But we need to get a good blowout, bit of a clean, and we'll start digging in even further. We're at this stage now, too many screws later, which is a bit awkward. I've got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 that go on, holding the connectors ports on in place. There was one there, there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There and there, holding things in place on the board as it comes out. There is also 2 thin screws holding this connection port on here, which is straight to the board, and then 2 larger ones holding the cartridge slot onto there. So hence the power supply, AV one there, and then the board holding in place. Now that piece of plastic just comes off anyway, which is fine, and then we're down to this. There's not much, there's a little bit of fluff inside here, but that's nothing that I can't really do anything with. These are typical Nintendo, with the metal parts there, so you can screw straight through, but they're held down by the board. So that's fine. Get that out of the way. Now we're down to this, and looks like the back of the RF shield comes off to start with. I'm getting fluff. So, why is there 14 screws holding a heatsink down? It's a little bit overkill. I mean, at least we can look at the back now. It looks like we've got a pretty clean sort of board, a little bit on the earthing over here, but nothing that I can't clean off quite easily. Strange how these ports aren't flush with the board. But they're not exactly straight either, but they are straight out, just they're mounted at an angle and then straight out. So I'm going to try and get this off. I'm going to blow this down because I'm getting dust up my nose doing this. It's nothing dirty, massively dirty, but let's get it cleaned enough so I can faff around without trying to sneeze. All screws are out. I've managed to put them over there. You'll notice in a few minutes that when I knock over a load of screws, they're all in the same pattern as this, just to make sure I put the right screws in the right thing. So, okay, that slides out. This just deeper in the rabbit hole, Alice, or not? So a heatsink comes out there, and there you go. There's the screws over there. That's there. Aha. That is very odd. That's an odd way of doing this sort of stuff. You've drilled into the heat sinks on top of the chips, and I don't think I'm gonna replace. Ah, they're pads. You can feel by the rubber. The pads holding heat sinks onto the chips. Don't know which chip is what, unfortunately. Probably graphics. Yeah, whichever. I don't know. Like I said, this is the first time I've been inside one of these. Does that? Oh, this looks like it comes off same as the N. Yeah, there's a SNES. That's very odd that it's just pushed in place. It's like it's even glued in place, I think. And that glue might have completely dried. But it is odd that you've got... Now it looks like it's staying where it is. Ah, because that's soldered in place. So that connects into... This one connects... Your main one connects into the expansion, even though it's... Is it the exact same port? So could you not technically plug your cartridge into the bottom? Let's see about plugging a cartridge into its bottom. I can't get it in right. It doesn't want to go. So perhaps maybe a lot wider teeth in there. It doesn't grip yet, it's a little bit wider. So virtually the same, just kind of piggybacking the original one, which is quite nice. So that is upside down. Looks like you've actually got an arrow there. Let's go there. That's quite good. 1996 Nintendo. Lovely. Okay. So, technically then, that's as far down as I need to go. I'll get a little bit of a clean. Like that port on the end there wants cleaning before I put it back on. Looks like it's got goo on it. Give those a little bit of clean inside. Still wonder why the button doesn't do that. The button does, button's fine, but it's just the casing. I'll have a good check on this board, make sure nothing really needs doing, which it doesn't look like it needs doing. V-term, 3.3 volts, oh, so that's a 3.3 volt line. So even if you wanted to light it up, you've got LED power. They're running about 3 volts. So you could run straight off here and the earth to put LEDs behind. Yeah, because you can see through this. Yeah, you can see straight through. So you can put an LED kind of behind here to backlight the ports. Same as what a lot of people do on the Xbox. And I've got one of the Xboxes. I've done that with the control ports, and it does look quite good. Oh yeah. I don't want that one to come off. See in there, you've got so many small little tiny connectors there. There we go. But they're nice machine parts, these. You've got stands there for screwing things to directly to the board. A little bit of fluff on here, but nothing I can't deal with. So you can see the pads, but the pads are perfectly fine. They will come off if I pull them, but I don't want to. I want to keep it in place because I don't really need to put thicker pads because it works absolutely perfect. Need to clean a little bit round here. I need to use the camera. Oh no, you don't. There you go. Right, so that's just fluff. I thought there was a piece of wire there, in the middle of middle of the camera there now. That was a piece of metal. It looks like it's just in damn good need of a clean. These things will just naturally attract bits of fluff over the years anyway. And the caps look fine. Diode. It's very well marked out to expand your cell, to faff around with yourself. And lots of holes, or potential holes, yeah, the holes through to actually wire things up. It's only for modding the lighting or anything like that, just to make a one-off, but I'm not going to bother. I'd like having originals of my systems, so this will be definitely left as is. So good clean, isopropanol, blow out with the See, that'd be an easy mod as well. Change the red one to something else, because the front I think is clear. Well, it's opaque. So let's get on with this. Give this a good clean and put it back together. And let's see if I broke this or everything's absolutely fine and works better than what it did before. We're back together with the heatsink. They are important having all the screws on. It just puts the heatsink down onto the other heatsink on top of the chips, at least anyway. So it gives it as much chance to cool down while you're playing anyway. I mean, granted, nowadays you probably might have a liquid cooler or something, or you might be even a big block of aluminium than this instead of just the outer bit. But then again, this has got a lot of surface space. The less bulk you have, the less weight, but then you've got this surface space on either side of here to get rid of the heat from. But I don't know if these run hot or not. Just don't know. Never played one. Well, I have a little bit in the unboxing, but we're back on. Front and back is there. That is not screwed into place. That needs to go through the casing. So I need to clean the casing anyway. So socket's back on, that's back on there, that needs to go on before you put the upper heatsink on anyway, and that just sits in place, will be screwed into place when you get round to it. But it's looking good so far, I'm getting there. So we'll get on with cleaning the case, which is, you don't need to see that, it's just stick the case into some soap and water. If there's any paper labels on there, try to avoid them unless you want to get an absolute plastic only case. If you want those little notches and writing that the production line have all done, then it's nice nostalgic wise. But if you want an absolute pristine, then clean them off. It's your Nintendo, do what you want. Mine, I'm going to keep them as they are, as best I can. That's from the shops, so it's going together quite well. Really, it's quite a simple, easy little one to do. So yeah, just overkill on the screws, but it's necessary anyway. Back to the case. Now I'll give it a bit of a clean. It's not bad at all. There's really nothing major on this. A bit of fluff. There's nothing on these that got fans that will suck in more dirt and more grease and whatever from the home anyway. So what I'm going to do is roll it ready to go back into itself. All the parts are over there for the external bits. I'm going to do a speed run. I'm going to put this on fast forward so you can see it getting fitted together. If you wanted to watch it slower, there'll be lots of squeaky noises and stuff like that, I'm sure. If it's 4 times speed, if it's 8 times, it'll be quiet. But I'll probably just tum-ti-tum-ti-tum over the top of all of it. But yeah, let's put this together because there's nothing much we can do and then we can start testing. Right, we're back together as a solid unit now. Everything's off. I need to clean the case anyway. I've not fully done the top. Just see there's a little bit of fluff inside there. That's easily removable anyway. A bit of dust on the Nintendo. Clean inside here. I'm a little bit worried about the reset button if it doesn't press in fully. So what I'm going to do is put some WD-40 inside the hole here. Just smear a little bit inside. You'll never see it. I might just do a similar on the switch as well, the power switch. I mean, at the minute I can probably put that back in, because that's done with. And I never thought I'd actually find a use for the sonic screwdriver, not screwdriver, the sonic toothbrush that I was given to test, which is absolutely useless. But it's not brilliant at cleaning, but it's better than a normal toothbrush. So that needs a little bit of clean. Yeah. We're doing anything on the Nintendo bit. Yeah. That Nintendo's quite clean now. Granted, before I said that this wasn't that dirty. Let me try it on the power switch, shall we? It's dusty, dirty, whatever-y. I can't get you in properly enough. That'll do. I actually do regret having another toothbrush and throwing it in the bin. I should have done this with that. I mean, this just buzzes at me. But it does kind of work quite well. Just gets in and just vibrates a little bit. That's quite good. Quite good, not brilliant. I'm not saying buy one of these, they're rubbish. So either I've just pushed that all back inside. Sorry, you didn't see that, did you? Push that back inside, or it's come off on the brush. Yeah, it'll come off on the brush. So let me get on with putting some more inside here, putting this switch back in. Let's just press back in, holding those two lugs there anyway. Both sides. Give us a bit of a clean, and we'll start testing. So start done. Ta-da! All done, all clean, all lovely. Right. You may remember from the beginning of this video that the reset button didn't press down very much. The heavy ones, I think, got a battery pack in them. The lighter ones are just a board, but that's a separate video to go through. The ones that are heavier don't work. So whether or not the battery's leaked, whether or not there's a problem on the board, I've seen videos where I can actually attempt to repair. So we'll see what happens with those at another date anyway. But at the minute, the best one that I don't get a copyright strike on will probably be GoldenEye. So what I'm going to do, on she goes. Lights up, everything's fine. The television behind is showing GoldenEye, as you can hear. But I'm going to switch to the Elgato and show you what I'm playing here. If it works, if it doesn't, then hey, this is just stupid. But yeah, we're going to try the Elgato for the first time on a console. Let's hope it works. hopefully that worked well, but I never said I was a really good gamer. So yeah, that's from just the composite. So it's not from a HD, this is not from a SCART, so there is more scope to do with this. This is just the standard cable that I got for the SNES anyway, so it's not going to look that good. So it'll look absolute. I'm sure it looks perfectly fine on the video, but I haven't reviewed the footage, but I'll do that in editing anyway. But that's only from that one cable. The audio is absolutely brilliant anyway, so that's fine. So we have got another cable on order, and by the time of this recording, it's not arrived, it's not here, but I'll be playing more. Might be streaming more with this, with the Elgato system as well, and see what happens. But other than that, that's an N64. Absolutely lovely. Going to go on the shelf. I've got a shelf over there now with some Nintendo stuff on it. I've got the SNES, I've got the GameCube, I've got the Wii, and now I've got this. So, anyone's ready to go in, plug and play into the composite for the older stuff. There is a HDMI socket on there as well, which I can convert and get two different stuff anyway for the HDMI input. But that's for another day for me to faff on my own. So Nintendo 64, N64 as you like to call it, complete and done, and looking absolutely brilliant. So while I'm balancing that on top of there, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Consider being a Patreon. Consider donating something. Get in touch if you want to donate something. I'm on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You catch me on Discord. If I'm not on there, send me a message. Email addresses in the description for the channel. Comment below. I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye for now.